Okay, my friends, today we are going to look at the fifth reading of Parshas Bamidbar. And we're going to read about and learn about infants of influence. Levite power babies. So there's this mitzvah called Pidyon Haben. Everybody's familiar with it. Your firstborn Israelite son has to be redeemed from the Kohen, and the Kohen gets the money. That's God's gift to him. Okay. Now, when the Jewish people were just starting out in this journey, the Levites were actually exchanged for the firstborns. And then there was more firstborns than Levites. Some people had to pay, and some people didn't. Because some people had a Levite who filled in for them. And this really is the background of what leads us into the fifth reading. So since we're going to talk about Levites, and talk about babies, and talk about exchanges, so we have to have a tally of the Levite babies. And that's why we never tallied babies before. Up until now, it was age of conscription. And now, we're going to tally the Levite families. And on a simple level, the reason we're talking about children, babies, infants, is because these infants have influence. They're going to be the ones who are exchanged for the firstborns. The fifth reading, chapter 3, verse 14, Vayidaber Hashem el Moshe, Bamidbar Sinai Lemer. God speaks to Moses. This is in the Sinai desert. And this is what he says. Now, the Rabbi Mendel asks a very interesting question. He says, most of this parsha had verses that opened with something like Vayidaber Hashem el Moshe v'el Aaron. How come here it's only to Moshe and not to Moshe and Aaron? And the Rabbi Mendel says something amazing. He says this is lehisrachek min hachshad. This is because Jewish leadership has to be able to rise above suspicion. And since Aaron's getting the money, it would be in Aaron's interest for there to be less Levites and more firstborn babies, or so people would say. The people have never been kind to the leadership. They have always accused the leadership of doing all kinds of things. Moshe Rabbeinu was on the receiving end of endless accusations and suspicions. So you could just say, if people want to be ridiculous, no, that's their choice. But Torah says, "V'yisin nikiyim." We have to do our best to try to be above suspicion. And therefore, Hashem himself says, if I speak to Aaron also, if I mix Aaron in, I'm setting him up for failure. Because, sure, Aaron counted this amount of babies. Sure, it was in his best interest. Less Levite babies, more 5 shekel gifts to the Kohanim. So this is only to Moshe. Moshe has absolutely nothing to gain here. His hands are clean. There's nothing personal. And we're going to be counting the babies. This is a Moses mitzvah, not a Moshe and Aaron. Pekoid es b'nei Levi. Count the children of Levi, says the Torah. Leveisa veisam, according to their fathers' homes, lemishpachaisam, in family formation, kol zachar, we're going to count every male, ben chodesh v'mala tifkedem. Every male from a month and older shall be counted. Now, of course, Pidyon Haben is only applicable to male babies, not female babies, and Pidyon Haben begins after a month old. So we have to have Levite babies who are in the same condition, the same situation as the firstborn babies, so they're going to be exchanged for. Or mature Levite firstborns. But at any rate, they have to be, who are influential. If we have powerful babies, what's the difference if they're 29 days old or 30 days old? Or for that matter, what's the difference if they're an hour old? What difference does it make? You're not more alive when you're 30 days old. So, Rashbam says, well, what do you mean? It's because the mitzvah of Pidyon Haben. Pidyon Haben is only after 30 days. So since Pidyon Haben is only after 30 days, the redemption of the firstborn is after 30 days, so the Levites have to be similar to the mitzvah of Pidyon Haben. Pidyon means redemption. Like for the word pidia, pidut, to redeem the firstborn. So the notion here really shouldn't be problematic. Here's the only thing. The laws of Pidyon Haben have not yet been given. We never learned about them yet. We're only going to learn about them. So at this point, there has to be some kind of explanation. It's got to make sense that we should be emphasizing the 30-day and onward. And also, the business of counting babies is very unusual. Because up until the fifth reading, we've been counting adults, majors, not even bar mitzvah. Bar and bar mitzvah are not even talked about in the Torah. We're talking 20 years of age of military conscription. So Rashi does not simply rely on the fact that Pidyon Haben, that redemption of the firstborn, begins at the age of 30 days, but instead, Rashi talks about this idea of 30 days being an age of viability. In other words, Rashbam says, that's the age of Pidyon Haben. And Rashi says, yeah, that's not good enough, because A, we don't even know about Pidyon Haben yet, but B, why indeed is it like that? Why is Pidyon Haben from 30 days? Why isn't Pidyon Haben from 8 days old? He's good enough for a bris. Why is he good enough for a Pidyon Haben? So Rashi explains it a little bit differently. Take a look inside verse 15. V'ben chodesh v'mayla, from the age of 30 days and older, sheyatsa miklal nefolim. The halacha is that at the point of 30 days old, that a baby is considered fully viable. So if, God forbid, a baby were not to make it to the first 30 days, there isn't even a halacha of shiva, because they say the baby's not viable. It was a baby that was destined to die. Do you know that David HaMelech was destined to die in infanthood? And therefore he's called Bar Nafla. A Nafel is an infant who doesn't make it. And David HaMelech was called Bar Nafla. Who became aware of David HaMelech's predicament? Adam. Very good. Adam. So Adam Arishan decided to be very generous and make a contribution of 70 years. So Adam Arishan was supposed to live for 1,000 years. Instead he only lived for 930 years. Where did 70 years go? They went to David HaMelech, who lived a short life, relatively speaking, of 70 years, during which 40 of which of the years he was the king of Israel. And he established the eternal monarchy of the Jewish people, and this is of course related to this time of the year. Rus, his grandmother, is the mother of royalty. But the point is, bar nafli, that if God forbid a baby doesn't make it to the first 30 days, it's considered to be a baby who is destined just to show up, say hi, and go return to his maker. They didn't have a lifetime to live, so to speak. Not even a short lifetime. It's not called a lifetime. So therefore, at the age of 30 days, when you go out of miklal nefolim, when you go out of the notion of a fallen means a weak child doesn't really have the ability to live on, so that's when, at a viable age, hu nimna, he gets counted. And Rashi adds 4 very interesting words here. Hold on to your seats. Likare, to be called, shomer mishmeres hakodesh, a member of the Holy Watch. He's a member of the watch. The neighborhood watch. His name is Levi. He's 30 days old. He's got a badge. He's a member of the neighborhood watch. Hold this thought. A member of the neighborhood watch at 30 days old. Really? Now, what would happen if Rashi wouldn't say these 5 words? What would happen if Rashi would just say, Sheyatsa mechlal nefalim? Hu nimna. He goes out of the age of non-viability. He's counted. So we'll talk about this soon. And now Rashi doesn't stop by adding these 5 words. He adds many more words. He says, Amar Rabbi Yehuda b'Rabbi Shalom. Rabbi Yehuda, the son of Rabbi Shalom, taught. Lamadhu, Oisei Shevet. This tribe was used to it. They're used to liyes nimnim min habeten. They're used to being counted from the womb. Shenemar, as it's written. The shame, it says over there that the wife of Amram, the mother of Moshe, is Yocheved. She is the daughter of Levi. And it says there, Asher Yolda Oisa LeLevi b'Mitzrayim, who was born by her mother to Levi in Egypt. In Egypt. Now, she was not born until after they actually came into Egypt. They arrived with a splash. She was born at customs. But im Knisa Pesach Mitzrayim, going into the entrance of the border of Egypt. Yolda Oisa, that's where she gave birth. V'nimnes b'shivim nafesh, and even though she was born as they entered Mitzrayim, she was still included in the count of 70 souls that went down into Mitzrayim. When you count over the numbers, make the calculation, you'll find it 70 minus 1, also known as 69. Where was 70? Torah says, no, 70 numbers. Completed that calculation. Very interesting. So Rashi doesn't just simply say, well, it's Pidyon Haben, redemption of firstborn. That happens at age 30. The Levites are going to replace the firstborns. Naturally, they have to be at least 30 days old. No. Rashi says, what's up with that 30 days? Bris Milah is a big deal. The Navi has to come, making blessings, a whole party. All of a sudden, he's not a human until 30? Like, what's going on over here? Incidentally, I found this very interesting. One of my sons was very, very sick as a baby, and we were down in sick kids. And up till the age of 30, they consider it to be a critical event. Wow. Mm-hmm. And he was 28 years old. And like the whole hospital went crazy. I still remember him putting him up in this thing and taking extras of his lungs. He had like a cough, he had like fluid. And it was like a major emergency. It was terrifying. Why? They told me till age 30, we consider it to be still tenuous life. Once you go past age 30, then And it's officially so. It's very interesting. It's a Torah concept, and the modern medical community still embraces this. I mean, this was 20 years ago, but
It's still.
yeah. So this is the business. The Rashi says that's why 30 days. And once he's 30 days old, he's a member of the Holy Watch. And don't be surprised. Levi's been doing this ever since when? Because the mother of Levi, mother of Moshe, the daughter of Levi, Yocheved, was also counted when she was just an infant. So Moshe got an order. What do you think Moshe did? He did it. But he did it al pi Hashem. He did it by the mouth of God. That's the expression, Asher Tzuva. Wow. He did it by the mouth of God. Can you explain that to me, please? How do you do it by the mouth of God? If you mean he did it because he was instruction, you should just say, Vayifkadesim kasher tziva Hashem. What's by the mouth of God? What does that mean? So Rashi tells us something very interesting. Amar Meishlef Nakadosh Baruch Hu, Meisha said, Rebbeinu Shalom, Almighty God, I hear this mitzvah, I get it, but how do you expect me to walk into people's bedrooms with these mothers who just give birth and they're nursing their babies? You got to be kidding. Ladas minyan yin kim. I'm going to poke my head around when the babies are in the cribs and being nursed. They're like, oh, come on, God, how's this going to work? Who knows what they'll say about me then? Amar LaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, Asay ata shalcha, you do yours, vani shali, I'll do mine. All right. Halach Moshe went v'amid al Pesach Hayil. He stood at the door. V'ashchina makademus lefanav, and the holy presence of God goes before him. U'baskel, and a echo, which is a euphemism for a divine voice. A broadcast came forth, and only Moshe could pick up the broadcast because he was tuned to the right dials. And what did it say? It came before him. Yotzim in oil. Then there was this broadcast that came out of the oil. V'imeres, and it said, Kach v'kach tinoikos yesh ba'oil zeh. So and so many children are in this tent. That's it. Moshe got the number, tallied up, and all he did is stood by the door, and he got the broadcast. And he was tuned into the dial, and so that's how he knew the amount of baby that was literally al pi Hashem. Literally. There's a very interesting story told about the holy Baal Shem Tov. The Rebbe said the story, that he was walking, he came to some village somewhere, he's walking through a shtetl, he came to a wealthy-looking home, but he still didn't have glass in the windows, they had shutters still. And he rapped on the shutters, and then he went away. Started to continue walking. So the guy came running to the door to see who rapped on the shutters, and he sees a man walking over there. He goes, "Hey, you rapped on my shutters?" He says, "Yes." "Did you want something?" "Well, it's funny you should ask." "Yeah." "I did. What do you want?" He said, "I want A, B, C, and D." The guy said, "Okay, no problem, I'll do it." Then he says, "Rabbi, could you tell me something?" He says, "Sure. If you wanted me to do A, B, C, and D, why don't you stick around and ask me? Why don't you just knock on the shutters and then move on?" So the Baal Shem Tov said, it says, God says He blesses you in everything you do. I had to do something. I wasn't sticking around. I did something. I had to knock on the shutters. If it was going to happen, I knew you were going to come after me. If you were going to choose not to, then it wasn't. I did my part. Moshe Rabbeinu did his part. What would happen? It's in God's hands. Moshe, now don't try this at home. You and I have to do you and I have to do the whole deal. We can't play that game, right? But when you're Moshe Rabbeinu or you're the Baal Shem Tov, no, you do your part and that's it. And that's al pi Hashem. The Teferes Yonasan, the Yonasan Eibishter, that's a very interesting question. This is like spooky. He says, how come it doesn't say L'gul Galesim? Everywhere it keeps saying by heads, head count. Likelihood, in fact, almost certainty, that there will be some Siamese twins born. And he says Siamese twins have two heads. And he says naturally, a Siamese twin cannot last more than 20 years. And he says, days? No, years. He says the Gemara says that somebody who has, sorry, you're right, a year. He says the Gemara says, Misha Yeshli Beis Gilgoyla, somebody who has two heads, will not last more than 12 months. Now, you'll tell me that today's day and age, there are Siamese twins who do last. We have technology today. We have the ability. But by natural means, by means of nature, a baby born like that can't last more than 12 months. So I mean, the Gemara also says you can't be born at a preemie, at 8 months old. You can't make it either. And there are many babies who do today. But technology changed. Naturally, the baby couldn't last like this. So therefore, the baby would still have to be counted. If there was a Siamese twin Levite, we don't know that there weren't, Moshe Rabbeinu would still have to count it. He didn't say, "Oh, you're not going to last a year anyway." 30 days.
As one or two?
One? No, that's the point. The Rebbe Eibishter says they didn't count heads. They counted people. Count the bodies. 2 heads, 1 body, still get but 1. So he says that's why by Levites it didn't say Legulgal Leisam, whereas later on there's no such thing as 2-headed Jews walking around. Later on, we're talking 20-year-old people, there's nothing. There was a head count. It says the babies specifically was not a head count. That's pretty interesting. So, anyway, so let's talk about this business of the Levites being counted from infanthood. And not only are these infants of influence counted in a simple way like Rashbam says, well, that's how it is, Pidyon Haben, but we have this emphasis that from the earliest age, they're going to be not only counted, but Rashi says, Nimna likore shoyme mishmeres hakodesh. They're a member of the Holy Watch. Right? They get issued their badge, and that's it. They're ready to report for business. What in heaven does that mean? And then what's this whole business of Rashi says, that Shevet, they were at this already for a long time. It's been 2 centuries already like this. Because 210 years earlier, 211 years earlier, Yochel so fast. And he ate his own words when he tragically, the families don't uproot so fast. Do you know who established the city of Hebron? The modern Jewish city of Hebron? Not the city of Kiryat Arba, which is like a fake Hebron next door to Hebron. I'm talking Hebron. Do you know, settlers, a bunch of women and babies, that's who. Because the only ones the soldiers couldn't physically throw out was the mothers and their children who moved right in. They moved in there. They said, we're not going anywhere. This is our land. This is our ancestral homeland. And because of this, there are Jews living in Hebron today. Bizachut, in the merit, not of the IDF, not of able-bodied men. And there's merit of mothers and babies. Because mothers and babies said, this is our homeland. And they settled in. So when the Levites are living in the neighborhood, guess who doesn't have room to come into the neighborhood? The rest of the people. It's a Levite neighborhood. What makes a Levite neighborhood a Levite neighborhood? Levites! What kind of Levites? All kind of Levites. How about little baby Levites? They take up space. They have a personal, they announce their arrival. They can be a holy terror. They're here. The baby's here. Nobody's coming in. Rabbi says, 1 second, that makes a little problem. It's true that the babies take up space. It's true that the babies ultimately serve to guard the precinct of the Mishkan, but they're not really doing it on their own accord. They're there with their mother. The mother's there with a baby. The mother has a baby. So when they got an order to evacuate Beit Romano, which was where there was the families living, where they settled, we're not going anywhere. The IDF Master Sergeant radioed into his commander. He says, I'm not throwing out mothers and babies. You can do that if you want. You got to be kidding. I'm not doing that. So it's not really the babies. It's really the mothers. It's really the mothers, not the babies. So in that case, the baby is not really being counted on his own accord. The baby is an adjunct to his mother. The Rebbe says that question Rashi deals with immediately afterwards. In order to explain this, Rashi here quotes the teaching of Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Shalom. And he says, because that tribe gets counted even when they're adjunct to their mother. And he says the proof of that is from Yocheved. And here's something very interesting. He doesn't say that Yocheved was nimna min ha-tinokot, from infancy. He says Yocheved was nimna min ha-beten, from the womb. How many Jewish people came into Mitzrayim? How many people came into Mitzrayim? 69. When was Yocheved born? After, as they came in already. So that means Yocheved, but they say 70 people came into Mitzrayim. So how are they counting Yocheved?
Stomach.
When she was still inside her mother's womb. And already she's being counted. And she wasn't counted as a part of her mother. She was counted on her own. So we see that when it came to Levite babies, these power babies were not only counted as independent entities when they actually could live on their own, take care of themselves, but even when they were still adjunct to their mother, they already were counted in the womb, inasmuch as they were in the neighborhood as adjunct to their mother, but nonetheless, they already could be counted on their own, and that explains to us how the census taking of Levi was vastly different than all of the others. These little babies, these kindalach, all have to be brought to hear the Torah being read and Shavuot, because the Rebbe wanted even the smallest babies, if possible, to be in shul, because only when all these babies are in shul together and the Torah gets read with all of us, men, women, and children united, is the Hashem give us the Torah all over again.